Our impulses are being redirected. We are living in an artificially induced state of consciousness that resembles sleep.
Oh, goddamn hacker, that second damn night that asshole's cut in.
Yeah, here we go!
Let's fucking go!
Let's fucking go.
We are back, boys and girls. That's right. Hylunder has come out of his hermit cave. Yes, he is here. And as you can see, he can skin Grizz, Pilgrim.
Can you skin Grizz, Pilgrim?
What's up, man? Sporting the Atlanta Thrashers tonight.
Yeah, dude. Uh-oh. I'm out of focus. Oh, man.
It'll be
I'll
okay.
come back, I suppose. Yeah, I have actively tried to secure a jersey for all of the teams in the league in Atlanta. You know, used to be the Flames, and then they were the Thrashers. They've tried a couple times to have a franchise down there, and without success. But I dig their jersey. So
yeah, very cool, man. Well, what are you sporting tonight, though?
I'm trying to get in focus.
Good luck with that, bro.
It is the Gretsch. The American-made Gretsch with the P90s. Man, this thing right here hums, dude. I tracked with this a couple times. I'm actually learning. I've got a drop down half step. Yeah, half step. Learning Detroit Rock City.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, this is. I love this thing, man, because I'm a big fan of P90s. My Gold Top's got P90s. I mean, they have a lot rawer sound. That thing that I tracked, I sent you yesterday. New one from Astroplane.
Astroplane's going to be the next one.
Astroplane, dude.
Check
Yeah,
you out,
already got the cover art. Good to go. But yeah, the Gold Top is it's got the P90s on it, so I just dig that raw sound. So yeah.
Oh man, well that's cool, dude.
So what's up with you, man? How's the artwork going? How's
it's going
the
fine?
Going, dude?
You know, I'm still drawing that up, man.
Yeah. I see
a good time with it, bro.
Yeah,
you know, a lot of detail now, though. We're getting into the ink work. We're getting into like the first page. I'm finding out there's a bunch of shit you got to draw that you're just not into drawing, and you just have to force yourself to do it.
You got to power through, bro.
Yeah, I got to power through. I'm just about done with the Coast Guard cutter at the beginning of it, but it's got this tower that has got all kinds of shit in it. And I know it's a comic book. I don't need to have all that detail in it, but I do want enough detail to where, you know, it looks at least silhouettes
Sure.
what the real thing looks like.
Right.
So,
when people look at it, they can say, okay, yeah.
Takes a lot of
It's
detail.
part of the story, So.
Yep, absolutely. And plus, us being in the military, I want to show the military in the correct light, in this thing. Military is going to be a big part of the story, He's absolutely in the military, man. So, yeah, he's a privateer, bro. But anyway, let's check in with the chat. Well, that first guy in today, actually, we'll go ahead and play his video because he's actually here too, but he checked in early like he usually does. But if you don't know this guy's name by now, then you're just really, you're just not paying attention.
There are some who call me Tim.
Tim is here tonight. He says, hail. And also, we've got Real Wade Nation in the house. What's up, my brother? Good to see you. Oh, my God. They can't get enough of this, bro. Check out Das Wolfen. He knows every time I see this, I have to play it. Every time. It must happen.
Let's fucking go.
Let's fucking go.
And apparently, Dan can't go right now because he's frozen. He's frozen. But he will fix it and be back with us shortly, I am sure. Let's see. Who else is in the chat tonight? Let's see. That's everybody. That's everybody. I don't know. Friggin' Tim says play Freebird. Oh, man. But anyway, he will be right back. Trust me, boys and girls. And Awesome One is here. It's good to see you, man. Good to see you. But it's good to have a show with my brother again. We haven't done it in quite a while. Look, guys, his job, apparently, Mondays are not conducive to him. And we had moved the show from this time slot to Monday because of football season. We both watch football and dig it, right? So what we're going to do, actually, we used to have this at 5:00, if you know what I'm talking about. And we decided to move it back to 6:00 on Sundays. That way we can be the bridge between the afternoon game and the Sunday night game, right? So we're going to do that going forward. Now, we won't be here next week because of the Super Bowl, but
the Super Bowl.
We decided it had been too long. We're not waiting any longer. We go ahead and do it now and let you guys know what the new time is and everything. So,
no doubt.
Without further ado, let's get going. You know what time it is.
Further ado.
You know where we got to start at, bro. We got to start with the top of the heap. You know what's up with that. And every time we start with top of the heap, you know what we got to start with.
Eject! Eject! Eject!
Fire on the flight deck.
This business will get out of control. It'll get out of control and we'll be lucky to live through it.
So much death. What can men do against such reckless hate?
Yeah, man. That video that's at the beginning of, oh boy, he's in and out, folks. That video at the beginning there where you see the jet crash into the aircraft carrier, that right there, man, that's one of my favorite scenes in any movie. It's from The Hunt for October, and that guy saying that is I believe was he a representative or a senator from Tennessee, Fred Thompson. And that's how I feel about any conflict that's going on around the planet, man. Just stop it now. Let's get it under control. But we're going to start like we usually do with the Ukraine. Ukrainian war briefing. Russian barrage hits Ukrainian residential and energy sites, killing at least 15. Apartment block in Poltava, if that's how you pronounce it, hit in drone and missile attacks as Zelensky repeats plea for more air defenses. What we know on day 1,075 days. Damn, that's crazy. Yeah, look, man, that
residential and energy sites.
yeah,
At least 15.
yeah,
Yeah, well, nothing's off limits, that's for sure. And
it's a war, that's for sure. I mean, I know President Trump's busy with a lot of things, but I hope he focuses on this one really quick. He's already made strides in the Gaza Strip in Israel. He's done some good things there. They're slowly but surely releasing each other's. We've got Gaza residents that have been arrested and put in prison, and they're being released in trade for the hostages.
Yeah.
He worked out a deal, and the whole thing is he's the art of the deal, right?
And he's supposed to be talking to Putin. I don't know if that's happening in back channels, but that conversation is supposed to be happening. That one's going to take some doing.
Yeah, it is. It's going to take some work, no doubt about it. But hey, I hope he gets to it, man. You know, I mean, he's God, how many executive orders has he written already? I mean, you know, and they're already being challenged, some of them. You guys have seen all about that. We're going to talk about some of them today. But anyway, the other big news going on right now, it's been the talk of everywhere this week, is the helicopter crashing into the plane in D.C. Officials say no survivors expected after crash at Reagan Washington National Airport. Now, I'm not going to show the video of this. You guys have seen it ad nauseum already, I'm sure. And I'm just going to go through some of these headlines that have to do with it. Staffing at Reagan Washington National Airport air control tower was not normal on the night of the collision, the FAA, according to the FAA. And what they're speaking to here, guys, is they had one air traffic controller monitoring the helicopter and civilian air traffic activity at the on what they call local, which is right there at the airport, the air traffic control there, the ATF there, and excuse me, ATC, and they're supposed to have one for each. So we know they're undermanned. That's been a topic of discussion for a while.
So here's the deal. I just want to say this real quick. This is probably not the first time they've been understaffed. This is not the first time that the exercises have been flown into that area. It is just a perfect storm of errors. And now you're going to get a lot of sensational headlines and finger pointing. And that's what we do instead of, waiting for, a good investigation to see exactly what went on. And I think we're going to find out that there was a lot of, shared errors, human errors to go around.
Yeah.
But like we talked about before, and I believe you made a good point before the show, is they need to start looking at having these exercises, which they have to do. Military has to train in these.
They have to train for this. Yes, I agree. They have to train for this.
Do it around the commercial. I mean, I'm sure they've been doing it for years, been going on forever, but they really need to look at that. And like we were talking before, people in the military, we raise our hands and say, we understand the danger. If there's going to be exercises, we're going to simulate that with a lot of extra flights in the air, jets, whatever. Simulate that high volume of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
And they know that going in. So if something happens, God forbid, these people that are flying in and out on vacation, they didn't sign up for that.
Sign up to the military and be involved in that. And that's my whole point. I've heard a lot of people speculating about what happened and everything. The best, I want to direct people to watch Officer Tatum. Danny and I both follow him, and he's a really good commentator. He's the guy that he is a big Trump fan. I will admit that, but he does stay middle of the road on a lot of things. And he had a video that a pilot put out about this very subject, and I'm really leaning towards what he thought about it. And anybody that's been at the airport, if you've been sitting on the tarmac in a line waiting to take off, this. They stack these planes up, and they all do it whenever they're landing. They stack them up, and he speculated, of course, they were practicing blackout conditions, and that means night vision goggles, which means your peripheral vision's gone. All you see is what's right in front of you. He speculated that it was a plane right behind the one that they hit, that they kept telling the tower, yes, we see the traffic. Yes, we see the traffic. And they kept saying that they were going to do it visually. They were taking responsibility, basically. So he speculates they saw the plane that was directly behind.
Sure.
And without peripheral vision, you're not going to see anything else. But something caused them to drift higher than their ceiling. Now, what that would be, I don't know. I don't know if that's an instrument.
And we don't know how seasoned this crew was. Maybe it was their first exercise under these conditions. You just don't know. This is why we need to really wait and see what the investigation will yield before we start passing judgment and, pointing fingers. Because at the end of the day, a lot of people lost their lives, and really pointing fingers, it's not very helpful. We need to look at it and then devise plans to, adjust accordingly, right? It's not working, so we need to do something else. So
right. And I've said on a couple of shows, as I told you beforehand, you can't tell me that they can't allocate a few jets to do touch and goes at an Air Force base and simulate this very thing. And take the civilian aspect out of
conditions in military outposts all the time.
Yep.
The military can do whatever needs to be done,
Yeah, we simulate stuff all the time.
I guarantee you that the thought process is we can do it around commercial planes because we don't have to pay for the fuel.
Right.
And all the extra flights.
Right. To move the assets where they're supposed to be.
Launch these planes. And so money's always going to be at the forefront of a decision. It just is.
Right. But hopefully they'll adjust and make that adjustment. But you're right that even the president has gotten a little snippy about this. I mean, when he first started talking about it, and, Trump has good ideas and everything, but sometimes I just wish he'd be quiet. I really do. But that's part of his allure for some people.
Well, that's everybody knows who this guy is. It's no secret who he is.
He says the Black Hawk helicopter was flying too high by a lot. It was far above 200-foot limit. That's not really too complicated to understand, is it? Well, we didn't know that. So, you don't need to talk to us like we're totally, stupid, bud, But the other thing that came out, we had to have, there was a transgender Army pilot that was falsely tied to the plane crash, that had to speak out because they were identified as the person flying the helicopter and they weren't. I mean, they need to stop jumping to conclusions right off the bat
and pushing these agendas that just separate. That's all it does. This country we cannot keep going down this path as the United States of America and be so splintered and divided.
Yeah, we can't.
It won't happen.
It's dumb. Well, I think of it from a journalistic perspective. I went to school for that at LSU back in the day before I started bartending. And the first thing they teach you is get two sources. I mean, how hard is that?
It takes too long now. You got to get it out. Got to get it out there.
Yeah, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Doesn't make any sense. If you're going to get it out, make it factual.
It's about getting out of sensational headlines so you can get that click on there and get the advertising going.
Yeah,
because everything you look at it every time you're researching our thing in pre-production, you're looking for things that you can click on and just have the story.
Yeah,
rarely do you click on something and not get inundated by this ad or that ad or this ad or that ad. That's what drives that, So
yep,
not about getting the truth out there anymore. It's about pushing that freaking dollar.
Yeah, I hear you. Well, we've got even more planes, trains, and automobiles, boys and girls. That seems to be the topic of what has been going on this week. We had another plane crash directly after that one. At least 7 people dead in Philadelphia plane crash, officials say. I think that was 6 on board and 1 on the ground. The shame of it is one of the people on the plane was a kid, and it was a medical flight for that kid. And I just want to show you guys this just so you'll know that it's, I mean, I am purely speculating here. But it really looks to me after seeing this video right here, and I'm not going to play the sound on it. Really don't need to. But if you look right up in this area to the top right, you'll see that plane was on fire before it even hit the deck. Here it is right here. It's a Ring camera that these people had on their door. And you see it right there come in like a meteor. And
That happened really quickly.
Yeah, it did. It looks like, it's Philly. There's places. I'm sure it was on final approach to an airport, probably a downtown airport or something. But it's pretty obvious that they had something go wrong.
My money's going to be on bird strike.
That's, my wife said the same thing. She goes, "Is that a thing?" I said, "Oh, it's definitely a thing. That happens a lot of time with airplanes.
Bird can take down a jet so quick, man."
Now a big commercial airliner with 4 major engines, it's not going to affect that bad. Right. But one of those smaller puddle jumpers like that, it's going to nuke it. And I'm with you on that one. I think that's probably what happened.
It came down. That was mechanical for sure. Looked like something. No doubt.
Yeah, but our prayers go out to all those folks involved in those 2 crashes. Apparently, there was a whole lot of young ice skaters aboard the civilian plane that went down in D.C. A lot of future skaters, and it's just a shame. And I can tell you this, though. I just to put a final pin in this, I really want to see him change those training mandates to have that somewhere else, away from civilian aircraft. I really want to see that done.
Well, Kim and I watch these air disasters quite a bit. Show on.
Yeah, a lot of people do. Yeah,
and usually policy changes come after deaths. And they look at procedures, and that's when they make changes. So unfortunately, that's the way that'll go. But if good things come out of it,
Yeah, and I gotta say, the guys that were working that night, they did a good job. If you really listen to the tower traffic and what happened and everything, they did a really good job that night. It's not like they might have been understaffed, and that could have. We're going to find out what led to it.
Sure,
but don't forget the military side of it. I guarantee you, some of the people that feel the worst about this is the immediate supervisors of the people that put those guys in that helicopter. Because
absolutely. I mean, all the training
they sign up to defend civilians, and we ended up taking out 64 of them. And they'll want to make changes too. So sometimes tragedy makes changes that last for a long time.
Sure.
So let's hope that happens. Yeah. Anyway, also in the top of the heap tonight, Trump imposes 25% tariffs on Canada and Mexico, and China is hit with a 10% tariff. And also, there's some repercussions to this. Danny took a look at some goods in the crosshairs of Trump's tariffs in on Mexico, Canada, and China. Sure, and also, hang on, before we get to that, China is going to file a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization and vows countermeasures in response to Trump's tariffs. Now, getting back to this, Dan, what did you find out on this one?
Well, when we get a lot of refined crude from both Mexico and Canada, a lot more from Canada, refined to the point where our refineries don't do it. It's a more stable, cleaner oil, right? So we get a lot of that from these 2 neighboring countries. And when you put tariffs on that, we're going to feel it at the gas pumps. And when fuel goes up, everything goes up.
Yep.
You're talking about, auto parts. We have things sent out to these neighboring countries to have it assembled and brought back into the country. Computer parts, chips, things of that nature. A lot of things we import.
Mm-hmm.
And these tariffs, I mean, if we were in the leading of manufacturing and oil distribution, things like that, like we used to be, I would say, this probably would be beneficial for the American worker, but we don't work like we used to. We don't. How many, plants are closed down, and these used to be industrialized cities.
I am sitting right here because a plant got closed down.
We've got a lot of, at least 2 generations have no problem put their hand out and living off the government instead of going to work, So, yeah, we're going to pay for that. The people down here at the ground level that are working and trying to keep the lights on for them and keep their families fed, we're the ones going to pay for that. Not these people up in the halls of, power and billionaires. They're not going to feel that. We are. So,
well, one part of his platform that he ran on was that he wants to bring manufacturing back here. Now, maybe this step comes a little too soon. Maybe if he can get that turned around in manufacturing, it'll be a good thing. But Who knows what's going to happen?
People with a lot of money are not going to want to open up manufacturing plants in the United States because of the labor cost.
Yeah.
You don't have to be a fucking MBA or a doctorate in business.
Pretty obvious.
Why these companies leave the country.
Yeah. Yeah.
Unions. Look, man.
He's true. Absolutely true. Well, I mean, I know what he's shooting for here. He's shooting for competition, but when you don't have the manufacturing facilities to compete.
Well, yeah, it's a great idea 50, 60, 70 years ago. That's not the world we live in now.
No. Yep. All right, look, man, we're not even done with the last thing I talked about. What? Dan, he's back to yelling at me.
Yo.
He said it's time for the jockstrap, bro.
Yes.
It's time to check out those other kinds of millionaires trying to make things happen.
In the face.
You know what I'm saying?
Face.
Trying to make things happen.
Oh,
big time.
Trying
to big time make things happen. What's up with that?
Look at my guy.
I miss Cut Daddy. I miss smoking Jay Cutler, bro.
You know, some guys with some character, right?
I'm telling you.
Character dudes.
Oh, my God. But anyway, let's check it out, boys and girls. You all know the results from last Sunday a week ago.
Heartbreaking.
I believe it was heartbreaking to the entire football world outside of Philadelphia and Kansas City.
Yeah.
Because I know everybody I know was rooting for Washington and Buffalo.
Absolutely. I was rooting for Washington. I give a shit less about the two AFC teams. To be totally honest with you, I don't care.
I'm with you too. Look, anybody that watches my football show knows I have no love for the Buffalo Bills. so
bad.
Being a New England fan, we really don't care about the Bills. But Washington, we were pulling for. But,
yes.
But Jaden Daniels, unfortunately, can't throw it to himself and hang on to the ball.
He sure can't. I mean, that's so bad. I mean, just fumble.
Yeah, they turned it over a lot. But hey, it was punched out a lot of the time by a defender from the Philadelphia Eagles. You got to get
cover the damn ball.
Plays.
Come on now.
Right.
Come on.
I hear you.
Come on.
But that was the difference in the game. It was.
It was 21
scored
points
off of every one of those
21
turnovers.
points off of 3 fumbles. There you go.
Yep, absolutely. The other game, Buffalo, I'm sorry, but you know what? If you want to get that yard, run a different play. They stopped it twice on you during that day, and you ran it 6 times. Come on, man. You got to.
Buffalo will not win a Super Bowl with Josh Allen at the helm.
Yeah,
they're not going.
They're
just not going to.
I think they can. I don't think they have the. Here's my thing. Isn't Brady the guy that coached Joe Burrow at LSU?
Yeah.
Isn't that him?
Yeah.
He must know something about Josh Allen we don't, because he is not very creative with this guy's at all. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, he's going to tailor the offense to the guy's strengths, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, and then look, Buffalo, the weather up there is not the greatest. So that really limits what you can do in the postseason for sure.
Yeah.
Because the Brady offense is predicated on run and then hitting down the field.
Yeah.
Down the field. Brackets down the field.
Yeah.
But when the weather is what it is, and then you got a quarterback that plays lights out in the regular season, but then when he gets to the big game, it's all right.
My God, man. He almost threw 2 picks on the first drive. I was like, what in the hell? What are you doing?
Anybody who's watched him and knows his history, I mean, you're either in denial or he's not going to change. I mean, it's just he is.
Well,
Kelly got to the Super Bowl to have his bad games. You know, Josh always fails in the AFC title game.
We ended up with a rematch of 2 years ago, Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. Now, me personally, Dan, I will say this. I'm not a Chiefs hater. I respect that team basically because of their head coach. I think Andy Reid's one of the best offensive minds that's ever coached the game.
Yeah.
He come from the Bill Walsh tree, and we love that guy too. They were very smart guys. But the Eagles I can't stand. But I'm not really rooting for Kansas City this game. I just want to see a good game. If Kansas City pulls off the three-peat, hey, we'll see history. It'll be really cool. But
I said at the beginning of the year that Kansas City was going to win the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. I picked them to be in there, but I thought Detroit would beat them. But Detroit ended up getting slayed at the hands the eventual rookie of the year.
Oh, Goff.
They coughed on out of there. But anyway, but if the Eagles win, I will tell you, I will be very happy for Saquon Barkley. He is a talented dude, man. He's a really good running back. It's been the year of the running back, hasn't it, Dan? It's nice to see for a change.
It's nice to see a running back. Look, the more
him and the King this year.
The more it changes, the more it stays the same.
Yep. You can run.
And a good, solid running game will do you well when you get deep into the postseason because teams are beat up, bad weather. You can always lean on a good run game. So.
Yep. Well, the Super Bowl will be in good weather. It's at the Mercedes-Benz Superdome right here in our beloved Louisiana, in New Orleans.
The best venue for the Super Bowl. Thank you very much.
You know it. It is. And the Governor Landry issues executive order amending the state of emergency declared on January 1st, 2025 to prioritize safety and for residents, athletes, and visitors attending Super Bowl 59. Now, what this is speaking about is, you guys remember about the truck incident where the guy took out a bunch of people on Bourbon Street.
Yeah.
Immediately after that, knowing the Super Bowl was coming there, he issued an executive order stating that they were going to supplement the state and local police with the National Guard down there. And that's what this is extending. There's going to be a military presence down there to keep people safe. So I applaud him for that. I'm glad he's doing it. And it hopefully they'll have a safe weekend down there, really, next weekend. I hope it goes well. Of course, there's going to be traffic down there all week. You know, media day is on Tuesday. The teams will probably arrive this Monday, probably, I think, both of them down there. So they're going to be there all week. But hats off to Governor Landry. I'm really liking what he's doing. He's first conservative governor we've had in a long time. So good to see what's going on there. Now, let's talk a little bit real quick, Dan, about the new hires in the NFL. This story comes out of the Athlon Sports. New Jets head coach Aaron Glenn addresses Aaron Rodgers in introductory press conference, and he really didn't say much about it. Basically what he said was Aaron Rodgers will be talked about. It will be talked about. We've already texted and had communication with Aaron Rodgers. And as we continue to look at the roster, we'll make decisions accordingly. So
he's on his way out. I just feel like he's going to be on his way out.
Yeah. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I think I'd retire after this last season he had. I mean, really. I mean, what does this guy got to prove? He's already done. He won a Super Bowl. What's he trying to prove? I don't. You know, you're not Tom Brady, bro. It's the best thing he could do when he was at the height of his game was when he'd get outside the pocket and make miracles happen. And with that blown Achilles, it was painfully obvious this year. That part of his game.
These guys, they just keep playing because they haven't done anything to secure any kind of future outside of football.
Yeah.
So,
well, he can always go host Jeopardy. I'm sure they'll let him do that. Hey, he's a big Jeopardy fan. He's talking about wanting to do that.
If they can afford it and they can jettison him, maybe get some trade value for him. I don't know if you can.
Yeah.
That would be the way to go. It's like the Saints and Derek Carr. If you can jettison that guy and just get out from underneath that contract, something.
Right. So speaking of the Saints and Derek Carr, that's the only job opening that's still open. And you're feeling like it's Kellen Clemens. That's why they haven't hired.
I think it's Kellen Moore. I think it's
Kellen Moore. I'm saying
offensive coordinator there for Philadelphia. They've had 3 different meetings with the guy. They flew out this last week to have a very extensive meeting with him. It sounds like the only stickler to this thing is Derek Carr.
Yeah, he doesn't want Derek Carr, right? Yeah.
So, but I think they're going to get that deal done. I think you're going to see some roster moves. I wouldn't be surprised. Some high-value targets or assets are going to get moved because the Saints are in really bad caps. They're like 30 million.
They are. They're in cap trouble. Yes.
So this is a total rebuild, and the last time they were in this kind of situation, having to do a total rebuild. They brought in a young offensive-minded guy.
that worked under Bill Parcells.
And I'm hoping we can catch lightning in a bottle again,
Right.
He's a toss away from the Cowboys. Cowboys didn't want this guy. Look, what I do know about Kellen Moore is this. He's about football. You don't hear about him outside of football.
Mm-hmm.
Dallas
he does coach to the he does you can tell just by what he's doing in Philadelphia that he coaches to
the
talent that he has. Yes. Because
they
didn't run the ball like this in Dallas.
He had great offenses in Dallas, right?
Yep.
I mean, they were top 5 in scoring every year.
Huge.
And here he is in Philadelphia. I mean, they're very productive. So, yeah, I would like to see them land him. I think that's they're everything's in on him. So hopefully they can get that deal done. I mean, if you watch, the local stuff.
I tell you,
he's the guy.
He would be a good hire. And of all the roster moves they're talking about making, the one that I really hope that they can pull off is keeping, even though he's a problem child off the field, Alvin Kamara. If they can just hang on to him,
they need to jettison him, get some trade value.
You think they need to get rid of him? Okay.
Yeah, you're in total rebuild.
Yeah. Okay.
So you got to get rid of that. You got to get rid of the D lineman. He's been good for the Saints for a long time, but big contract. Got to get rid of that. Derek Carr, got to get rid of that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you're going to rebuild, these are moves you have to make.
Yeah. Unask the money.
Can get you some trade value. He's still good enough to get you some trade value.
I got you. Well, the other hires, I don't have a breakdown of them, but I know them off the top of my head. The latest one was Pete Carroll to the Raiders. I'm sure he's just a bridge, though. He's only got a 3-year contract. I'm sure Brady brought him in over there just to get them headed in the right direction because he is good at coaching up young talent. So he's not going to be a world beater out there, but I think it's just to get the mindset rolling right because, he is all about compete and everything. So Sneaky Pete's going to be in Vegas. You've got the old Tampa Bay offensive coordinator. I can't remember the guy's name, but he's running Jacksonville, the worst job out there, if you ask me.
Yeah, you want to talk about a train wreck. That's Jacksonville.
Yeah. And
they're tied to that shitty quarterback. So
yes, I don't care who they hire until they've got a different quarterback. They're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I think the guys that did the best job were the Jets, which we just talked about. And right there in that same division, I knew as soon as Vrabel talked to the Jets that the Patriots were going to unask their guy and get him into New England.
Yeah.
They really should have done that last year. They shouldn't have, they had a plan for Belichick moving on, but I think they should have hired Vrabel last year after Bill left. But
I'm sure there's a lot more to that story that we don't know.
Right.
If it was feasible, they probably would have done it.
Yeah.
Mayo, it's my understanding they were talking to Mayo at least a year before they let Belichick go.
Yeah.
So that groundwork was already laid.
It was already in place. Yeah, it was. So. Mm-hmm. Well, the last one is very intriguing because Ben Johnson is the new head coach of the Chicago Bears, and it's obvious they hired their head coach to mentor Caleb Williams and get that offense to clicking. But did you see who they hired as the defensive coordinator, bro? Dennis Allen, your ex-head coach.
Yeah.
Now, that's a good thing for them. Yeah,
that's scary
a really
because
good
the guy is a great defensive mind. He's the only DC that I saw in the game that made Tom Brady look very average.
Right. Exactly.
He did not do well against the Dennis Allen defenses.
No, he didn't.
Just never did.
So, yeah, watch out. Chicago, that division that's going to be fun to watch because we had 3 fucking playoff teams. None of them made the Super Bowl, but wow, did they have some great games.
I think Detroit's coming back to earth.
Yeah. They lost both their coordinators. The offensive coordinators in Chicago. I'm sure they didn't want that to happen. Hey, Bo, what's going on, man? Good to see you. And they lost Aaron Glenn to the Jets. So, yeah, it's going to be tough for Dan Campbell to take care of Dan Gamble, as I like to call him, take care of that.
Yeah, they lost a lot of leadership there, and they're going to lose some players.
Yep.
They're going to get picked. I mean, so.
Yeah, I think they peaked they peaked too soon.
Well, they got as much as they're going to get with the roster they have, and Goff is not going to get you. He's not going to win a Super Bowl.
Yeah,
not going to. Sorry.
Yeah, some of those throws in that championship game, I didn't understand.
Bad.
I was like, "Where are you throwing
Bad.
this ball?" Yeah,
bad.
Too greedy. Too greedy. Speaking of too greedy, this guy wants way too much Pyang. Ravens Justin Tucker accused of inappropriate sexual behavior by 6 massage therapists. What is with these deviant players in the NFL
and massage therapists?
And massage therapists.
Deal. I mean,
what the
where does it
hell,
say? A massage therapist, also a prostitute. Now, I don't think that they don't go hand in hand, dude. I don't think they do.
No, man, the sports, dude.
These guys are making those assumptions.
Look, we got free tickets to a WWE event here, a live event, and she had been hired. The reason why we ended up going, it was a friend of a counselor that worked with Rhonda, and her friend was a massage therapist, and she was hired to work for Ronda Rousey while she was in town at the WWE event.
Mm-hmm.
And we're right there by the fucking front row.
Mm-hmm.
They got us really good tickets.
Mm-hmm.
If you're really good at that, you're coveted. People want you to work for them, and they're professionals. I don't know why these guys think they're going to the fucking...
Oh, while you're down there doing my thigh, I can just,
right?
Why is that acceptable? Where on my business card does it say you can take that liberty?
Right? What the
Nowhere.
fuck? I don't get it, man. That's ridiculous. Okay,
well,
look.
when you live in that weird world, that bubble these guys live in, I guess anything is...
They don't live in the same place we do. They don't. All right, boss. Look, we're getting to it.
Yo.
He says time for the flicks, bro. Time for the flicks. Yeah.
Freaking Fluke Starbucker getting his freaking whack hand cut off.
Fluke Starbucker? Is that his name?
Fluke Starbucker. Look at that idiot.
Isn't that the Hardware Wars guy?
Hardware Wars. Oh, there it goes again. Ben gave you that freaking lightsaber, dude. And you just stick your hand out there like, no big deal. Whack. There it goes.
No big fucking deal. All right. So let's get into it. We got the box office projections for this weekend. Looks like, once again, and the numbers have been down for the whole month of January. This is where they put movies to die, really. But here at the end of the month, a kids movie, Dog Man, has made $36 million this weekend. And Companion, the other one that came out this weekend, made 9.5. Companion, a little strange there. It's kind of like,
I don't know any of these movies.
Okay, Companion, Dan, is I think it's a sex robot or something like that, becomes aware of itself and is going after its
civil rights
or something. I'm not sure. It looks really strange, man. It's really
weird. I always ask you this, and I'm not sure if have you watched the movie Idiocracy?
Yes, I have.
We are living in Idiocracy right now.
Yes, a lot of people think that. Yes, I understand why. I do. And it's Mufasa's number 3 with 16 million. It's been out 7 weeks now, and it's still in the top 5. And then you've got One of Them Days, a comedy that came out last weekend, made 6 million, and Flight Risk, Mel Gibson's new movie, his last in the top 5 with 5.6 million. I want to see that one too. Have you seen the trailer for that one, Dan? You haven't? It's Mel Gibson's new movie, and it's got Wahlberg in it as a hitman. And he's got...
I have seen that trailer.
Yeah, you've seen him with the bald head, right?
I've seen that trailer, dude.
I got to see that movie, man. It's going to be good, dude. I got a feeling.
Yeah,
I like Gibson's movies, but anyway, that's the tops of the box office. But all the talk this week was about a guy. You hear about guys stepping on their dick. Well, Anthony Mackie.
Oh yeah.
Unzipped it and danced a jig on his dick this week.
He did a little river dancing on his.
Yeah, he did a little river dancing on his dick. Anthony Mackie clarifies his controversial Captain America statement. Now, if you don't know what this guy did, he was in an interview outside the country, and he was saying that Captain America stands for a lot of things that I don't think really need to be called American. And then he starts listing all these morals of
integrity,
America,
justice.
you know? So I think I understand his thought process on this. I think he was trying to say these ideals aren't exclusive to America, but you don't say they're not American, man. You don't say that.
This is the reality this guy lives in. I mean,
so
in his
bad.
mind, he can say that. He can say that. He's got free speech. But don't play Captain America, dude. And don't cash the checks that you're going to get for playing the damn role.
Right? Don't cash the checks. Don't do it.
If it's so bad in the United States, just don't do it.
I hate it for this guy, though, because he's from New Orleans, man. And I actually like him as an actor. I wish, I wish he wouldn't step on it like this. But if you want to, and no, we're not restarting Das Wolfen. Sorry about that, bro. He said I had to step away.
Das Wolfen.
But I got to tell you, man, stop putting these guys in front of the camera. Stop it. All you're doing, I mean, look, you and I talked about this. I'm not in a hurry to go see this movie. I know you're not either.
The reason why I'm not going to go see it is because I've never been a fan of the Red Hulk. Never have.
Yeah.
So I have no interest.
And this is a Hulk guy over here. This guy right over here. If I point in the right direction. Yeah, that guy. He's a big Hulk dude. Yeah. And yeah, man.
No interest.
Dude. What the hell? People are already giving this enough hell as it is. They've already reshot it completely from beginning to end. I don't think they're gonna. I think this is the Marvels all over again, dude. They're gonna take a bath on this thing.
It's gonna bomb.
Yeah,
it just is.
It's sad. And then I hated to hear this one this week. Superman drunk driving. What the fuck?
Superman.
Who is this?
Who is this? Superman.
Smallville star Tom Welling from Hero to Zero, arrested for DWI. I hate to see that, man. I mean, this happened to an athlete that Danny and I like quite a bit, Jay Cutler, just recently, and it's.
See the headline there? From Hero
to Zero. Yeah, well, that's TMZ for you, man. That's what they do. They do it. They throw it out there. Let's see. Let's see. He says this is Bo saying also context for the interview. He was trying to convince people in Europe to watch Captain America. Yes, I understand that, but you don't say it the way he said it, bro. You don't say it the way he said it. It just it sounds bad. It really does. Yeah. I know where he was going with it, but you got to word it better than this. Here's what he should have said, Bo. This is what he should have said. Many places share American values like these. That's what he should have said. But
hey, he's a United States citizen. He's got the right to say what's on his mind. So
yes,
good, bad, and indifferent. You don't have to agree with it, but yeah, don't play Captain America, man, if you don't believe in the thing. So
come on, man. What the hell?
Oh.
Okay, so we're not done with the flicks just yet, though, because part of the flicks now these days, it's the Diddy Files, baby.
Diddy Files, okay.
We got to get into Diddy Files.
Let's get into this.
I got a feeling that when this trial starts, it's good. It may be bigger than the OJ trial, Dan. This is going to be a big thing whenever it happens, dude.
Well, I mean, the thing that's going to make it bigger than OJ is OJ was singular. He was the focus, and he, in the murder with the two people.
Yeah.
Diddy
crime of passion. Yeah.
So many people, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. This guy. Yeah. There's a bunch of people involved in this right here.
There's a lot of people shaking their little space boots right now.
Right. What the hell? This one comes your way from Radar Online. Sean Diddy Combs hit with brutally forensic proof he was deep into abuse when he announced his bizarre love era.
Deep in abuse.
Deep in abuse. Yikes. And also, here, this fueled a bunch of speculation right here. But we're here to set the record straight here. Disgraced rapper Sean Diddy Combs rushed to hospital in the middle of the night by prison staff. Now, we saw some sensational headlines on this, like he had been attacked in prison and all this good stuff. Dan, tell him what really happened.
Well, no, he's got an old injury and he was having some chest pains, and they took him in for MRI and everything's fine. But Yeah, it was just an old injury that was flaring up, and that's why he was taken into the hospital to get checked out. So he wasn't attacked, he wasn't jumped or anything like that. But you know what? How many of these headlines always start with disgraced? Pull that up again. Disgraced rapper Sean Diddy Combs. They all start with that same verbiage.
Yes, they do.
Disgraced rapper.
But that's the court of a public opinion they're playing to right there, bro.
Oh yeah,
yeah, of course. Yes, you know that.
Disgraced rapper.
Sure. Let's see. Das Wolfen says, pay attention to who is leaving the country to non-extradition countries at the beginning of the trial.
Forrest Gump.
Wow. You're right about that, John. I hadn't even thought about that.
Forrest Gump's going to run off to France probably. Tom Hanks already left the country.
What about, what's his name from that 70s show, man? He's going to be in a hurry to get out of here, isn't he? What's his name?
Yeah.
God. You know
Ashton
who I'm talking
Kutcher?
about. Yeah, Ashton Kutcher. He's going to be in a hurry to get out of here, man. Woo-wee.
A lot of freaks out there shaking in their little space boots. Yep.
All right, look, boss. Look, man. Do you have to?
Yo.
He says earthquake time, dude. He says
Earthquake
check out the
time.
earthquakes. See what's going on.
Still trying to, and that whoever puts the buildings. Oh, well, what they made of paper mache.
They're made of paper mache and stuff that looks really cool and it crumbles, man. That's what it is.
No rebar in that concrete at all. I mean, look at that. That's just disgraceful.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
What happens?
I don't know, man.
Signed off on that stuff, man.
I don't know. We need to find out what's up with that. Maybe the Doge guys can check it out for us. Yeah.
Freaking California, dude.
Freaking California. Yeah. First up, we got RFK Jr. applauds Trump's move to declassify info on JFK, RFK, and MLK's deaths. Yeah.
RFK, JFK, MLK.
All the Ks are going to be having their files unclassified.
That guy should never talk live.
I swear, dude. We're gonna get into that
bad.
here in a little bit. Yeah, it's well. You saw what's our comedian's name, man?
Yeah,
that was the best. That was the best. You know what I'm talking about? The guy that wears the filters on his mask, on his face. Yeah. Oh, dude! When he did that, he goes, "When is RFK gonna clear his throat?" He's like, "What do you think? I've never tried that." And then all of a sudden, he clears his throat. He says, "You see what I mean? Oh, it worked.
It worked.
We're gonna go on to Boston and Philadelphia, and we're gonna go all the way to the bleep, bleep, bleep. That was one of the greatest bits.
So bad, you know. Oh my goodness, you can't.
God.
Whatever message he's trying to give, you lose it because he just.
Yes.
Oh, it sounds like he's drowning.
But I think it's a good thing they're going to release these files finally. But
absolutely.
The only thing
they're still heavily redacted though.
Yes, they're going to.
I was reading up on that. They're still heavily redacted. There was one little point. There was a known worldwide hit person that had done some work in other countries, and he was actually in the Dallas area, had come into the Dallas area previous to President Kennedy's trip to Dallas. So this guy was in the area. So,
and they usually don't
count on that Bruder film. I can tell you that because
look, man. I can
tell you that guy was shot.
I really think that as much as a whack job as he is, Oliver Stone got it right in his film. I think he did. It was a coup. That's what it was with Lyndon Johnson waiting in the wings. And I would not be surprised if Lyndon Johnson knew all about it either. I would, if that comes out, I wouldn't be shocked. I really wouldn't. Let's see. Das Wolfen says one of the actors from that 70s show is in prison for rape.
Yep.
So the fact that Kutcher was involved with Diddy doesn't surprise me. Yeah, I know the one you're talking about. He played Hyde.
Yep.
Yeah, I love that show, by the way. And it's a shame to see all these guys going down that road, man. It really is. Snoop Dogg loses 500,000 social media followers after performing at Trump Crypto Ball.
Whoopsie!
It was part of the inauguration celebrations and stuff. And apparently he lost a bunch of fucking social media followers. But, hey, that when you stand up for a certain side in a political battle, this is what tends to happen, man. So, hey, I'm
and
sure
he knew
Diddy
that
will,
going in. I mean,
I'm sure. Or I said Diddy. I'm sorry, Snoop. I'm a big fan. I'm sorry. I'm sure Snoop Dogg is doing just fine.
oh yeah, it's like the lady that she's catching hell from the View for performing at Trump's inauguration. People, these stars, that they know what they stand to lose, and they're at the point in their career now. They're not just starting out, so they've made their money. They're set financially, so they can take that.
They can take the hit.
Yeah.
John says there is testimony from cops about the bullet hole in the windshield coming from the front. They cut that out of the report for public release. Yeah. Are you talking about the
JFK
the report the government? I'm talking about the government report. I can't remember the name of the damn thing. I'm having a senior moment when it comes to this shit.
I just bullet theory.
Look, I blocked this shit out, but yeah, that's great that we found out that there's a shot from the front. That everybody knows that one guy didn't do all that shooting that day. You just have to be you'd have to have never shot a gun before to believe that happened the way they said. Yeah, there it is. The Warren report. I'm sorry. Thank you very much. Yeah. The Warren report. It's good to see that they had that in there. But they were going to, that Warren report, all it was for was to deflect the blame off of the suspects in the government. Trust me. That's what it was for. Okay. Let's see what we got next. Trump signs the Laken-Riley Act, the first law of his second administration. This one passed with a vote. It passed the House through 263 to 156, and it passed the Senate 64 to 35. It was bipartisan, and it was basically a law that said that if you're in the country illegally and you get arrested for shoplifting, they can deport you immediately and get you out of here. Basically, that's the Reader's Digest version of it.
Sure.
And it has to do completely with, of course, Laken-Riley is that person that was raped and killed by somebody that unlawfully crossed the border. So good to see this one get passed. I like that one. That's about all I got to say about that.
Well, we're in cleanup mode now, but the state of the country is what it is because of the lawmakers.
Right.
I mean, they're always trying to buy votes and inviting and opening borders, and now they're going to try to shut the border down and clean up that mess. And they're the ones who create these messes anyway.
Yeah.
To buy votes, so they can consolidate and keep their power.
Let's see what else we got.
You and I, the people out here trying to make a living and take care of our families, we're the ones that have to deal with it on a daily basis.
Basically, a non-traffic violation will get you bounced now. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and well, it should. Hey, Keely Chow is in the house. What's going on, man? And he asked me the same question. Well, we're doing what we do every time we get together. Me and my brother going over today's headlines, let you know what's going on in the clown show that is 2020.
Clown show.
The next up, let's see. We got Trump orders Guantanamo Bay to be prepared for the worst undocumented immigrants. This place is only supposed to hold about 750 people, but they do have the capability to hold more with tents set up, and they've held more there before. So we'll see what happens with that. Next up, we've got, I thought this was funny. This guy is getting rid of the fact checkers on his platform, and he agrees to pay $25 million to settle lawsuit from Trump after January 6th suspension.
This guy right here did a freaking 180, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah. Whole 180. Big time. Let's see. Breaking news, Alabama leaving the SEC for the ACC. Film at 11. He directed that at Keely Chow. I guarantee he's the biggest Bama fan on the planet. Yeah. He's laughing and smiling. Yep. But anyway, Mr. Facebook here. settled real fast once he was back in power, didn't he?
Yeah,
It's amazing how quickly that happened. You might get whiplash keeping up with some of this stuff, man.
Yeah.
This one, keep an eye on this one, folks. 2 dead and at least 146 infected as Kansas battles spreading tuberculosis outbreak. So keep an eye on this one, boys and girls. As of Friday, at least 67 cases of active TB were reported in Kansas, including 60 in Wyandotte County and 7 in Johnson County, the Kansas Department of Public Health announced. So we're going to have to keep an eye on that one. They've got an outbreak of TB going on there. You know, consumption, it'll get you, man. That shit'll take you out. Oof. You don't need that. Also this week, actually today, Punxsutawney Bill says we need 6 more weeks of winter after waking up to see his shadow on Groundhog Day. Yeah. I know a lot of people follow this, dude. I didn't even know what day it happened or anything. Is it the first Sunday in February or something? Or I mean, why did this?
No idea, but look, the groundhog knows. Okay,
he knows. Apparently,
that's all I do know. Okay, so
yep. Let's see. Not going to say it was illegals, but it was illegals. Yeah, I hear you, man. Yeah, Punxsutawney Phil. I've always dug him though because that groundhog's a big dude, man.
He's a big chubby guy.
This picture doesn't do him justice.
He's like, yo, man, put me back in because it's cold. It's gonna be cold.
It's about to get cold.
Another 6 weeks, dude. Put me back in here.
I need to hibernate for another 6 weeks.
Too cold out here.
He says Groundhog Day is February 2nd every year. Okay, thanks, John. Appreciate it.
That's Wolfen.
See, John's obviously one of those dudes that follows that kind of thing.
You know it, man.
Also, we got 6 Americans held captive in Venezuela returned home as Trump concludes his 2nd week. The art of the deal. He's making the moves, dude. He's getting this stuff
really
done.
Orange nowadays, huh, dude? I mean,
yeah, he looks tired, dude. He really does. Yeah. I've noticed that in his when he's up there speaking.
He's an old guy.
Tired.
He's old.
Yeah, but he's still got his wits about him. But yeah, he is old. We need some young. We've talked about this before. We need some young people in there, bro. You know.
Yes, we need young minds.
People in there.
Yeah.
And lastly, in earthquakes, we've got. He's also flexing our military.
Yeah.
US strikes in Somalia neutralized key ISIS figures. Regional government
in partnership with the Somali government. They're very happy that this is going on, and they're looking to weed out a bad element, you know. So
ISIS figures, yes,
yeah. I mean,
ISIS is not cool, man.
For me, cool it sucks that we have to go to Somali and handle business over there. Mm-hmm. You know, Africa's a huge nation. You'd think by now they could stand on their own and handle their fucking business, but no. You want to talk about turmoil?
Yeah, I mean, you know, Israel gets all the headlines and stuff, but let me tell you, there is not a bloodier continent than the African continent.
Israel doesn't need us to come in there and take care of anything.
No, they don't.
You know, they're not even a fraction of the size of freaking Africa.
Yeah, and some of the governments in Africa, man. Wow.
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
Warlords.
Okay, boys and girls.
Term all the time. So
it is time to take a look at those individuals that we deem we have vetted and we have decided are good enough to be sent forward to speak for us. To represent us. I'm speaking, of course, of the best and brightest. Yikes, man. That
best
cracks
intro video ever, right there. That's the best.
Well, you know, this first one, dude, this is too much right here, man. Let me tell you. If you're a public official, now, I've seen this happen in other countries right there in their parliament and shit, but not at a fucking city council meeting, man.
This lady is way out of control.
America's worst mayor, Tiffany Henyard, joins wild brawl at community meeting.
We've talked about her before.
Yes, we
At
have.
least 2 other times.
Yes, we have. You guys, you will see her. You see right here on the screen. You will see her circled during this little confrontation. Let me make sure I got the sound up where you guys can hear this. This is at a
Remote discourse.
She is going to get in her pound of flesh, I guess.
Oh my goodness! You
There
know
she
that
is.
mayor was found in contempt because she would not sign off on liquor licenses. And I mean, they took her to court over this, and she still was dragging her feet on that.
Yeah.
She's been investigated by the previous mayor of Chicago, and the report came out that there's at least $3 million unaccounted for from the mayoral's office there. She goes on these lavish trips and just spending taxpayer dollars like crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's way out of control.
Yeah.
Way out of control.
Let's see. John says Trump is probably going to get done what he wanted and step aside in a couple of years for JD Vance. Well, I don't think he's going to do that. He's going to be there.
Trump ain't going to step aside for nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody.
She got into a fight with her boyfriend this weekend too. Really? I didn't see that story.
She's way out of control.
Yeah, she is. That's unbelievable.
And she has been for well over a year because we've been talking about her for a while.
Another best and brightest we've talked about several times. Former U.S. Senator Bob Mendez sentenced to 11 years in prison in gold bar bribery case. Yeah,
framed.
This guy, yeah, he's getting his comeuppance, isn't he, Dan? Yeah.
Yeah, framed. He was framed. Guys,
he's framed.
Just because he had gold bars and money stashed in his house.
Stashed right there in the floorboards of his house. Yeah, what the hell, man? I mean,
substantial.
Good riddance, my brother. You can put the tissues away now. You can put the tissues away.
He was begging for leniency too. He
was.
He got sentenced to 11 years. He'll probably do 2, and he'll be back out. And he'll be elected senator again. Watch.
Oh my God, I hope not. Let's see what else we got here. Ex-Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot shares the results of her probe into Dalton Mayor Tiffany Henyard. That's what Danny was referring to. How much money is it? That's
$3 million unaccounted for.
Oh my God! Wow,
she's way out of control, man.
Yeah, that's. I should have put that with the other story. I didn't know.
Animal House.
Yeah, Animal House.
Animal House.
Well, we have a new feature in Best and Brightest. You know what the new feature is. We have got to check out the Trump cards, boys and girls. We got to check out the Trump cards, and we're gonna go ahead and I mean we haven't had a show in a long time, so we decided to go ahead and put the executive orders in with the Trump cards.
That's Trump cards. He's playing Trump cards right there. Boom.
But what this was initially supposed to highlight was the appointments during, after the election. Tulsi and these guys are getting them up in front of Congress, and they're representing his thoughts. Mm-hmm. No doubt about it. They are. Mm-hmm. And all he wants them to do is speak the truth to power, basically, is what it is. Tulsi Gabbard refused to back down on Edward Snowden. It could tank her nomination. I don't think it's going to. I think she's one of the rising stars in politics. Of course, you guys know I'm all in the bag for Wonder Woman. I think she is great. That's right. She's Wonder Woman. Don't forget it.
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, she got up there and she didn't back down, man. She let them know what she thought. And then I've got to show you this exchange.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Okay, calls out Bernie Sanders up to his face, right in front of God and everybody. This was excellent. I've got to tell you, this made me smile when I watched this. And you can hear the gallery was cheering this too.
I'm going to make America healthier than other countries right now.
Will you guarantee do what every other major country does? That's a simple question.
And by the way, Bernie, the problem of corruption is not just in the federal agencies; it's in Congress too. almost all the members of this panel are accepting, including yourself, are accepting millions of dollars from the pharmaceutical industry.
Oh, no,
and
no,
protecting their interests.
Oh, I thought that would, no. I ran for president like you. I got millions and millions of contributions. They did not come from the executives, not one nickel of PAC money from the pharmaceutical industry. They came from workers.
In 2020, you were the single largest
because I had
receiver of pharmaceutical money
from workers all over this country. Workers,
you were the
not a nickel from corporate PACs.
You were the single largest acceptor of pharmaceutical dollars.
No, from workers in
1.5 million.
Yeah, out of 200 million. All right, but
out of 200 million.
Last question.
Oh boy, he didn't want. He was done talking when he started spitting the numbers out, didn't he?
Oh
my God. Wow, unbelievable, man. All right, let's see what else we got here. The DOGE, which is the Department of Government Efficiency, announces more than $1 billion in savings after canceling 104 federal DEI contracts.
Well,
wow.
They need to go, obviously our government's way too big. So they need to go in there and audit and trim the fat wherever they can. Yeah. People are going to lose their jobs. People are going to lose their careers. And that is unfortunate. And families are going to be affected. Don't act like it won't. Don't sit over there and say, yeah, they're doing a great job. And remember, innocent people that didn't vote for all this shit, didn't, put all this stuff into play, all these laws and all these agencies, they're just living their life and working. So they're going to lose their jobs and their family's going to be affected.
Yeah.
But this is the position that these people in power, in the halls of power, in the Capitol House, in the state houses, this is the position they've put us in.
Yeah.
So now at some point, somebody was going to put their foot down and say, okay, we need to audit this and we need to make smaller government.
Yeah.
Because the intent of our forefathers was not this huge, all omnipotent freaking government. It's not.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, hey, they're gonna go in as long as it translates to lower taxes. I'm for that.
Yeah, and one of the
make no mistake, people's families will be affected.
Oh yeah, they will be. Anytime it
doesn't happen in a vacuum.
People lose their job. I don't want to see anybody lose their jobs either. But to your point, the preceding 4 years have gone so far overboard with their agenda that the pendulum has swung way back the other direction.
Well, that's how we do things. We do things in the extreme. We don't care about balance. And this wasn't just the last 4 years. This has been happening for at least 100 years.
Yeah.
And so now we've gotten to the point now where we're trillions of dollars in debt. And we put ourselves in a financial bind with China, and other powerful nations.
Yep.
And we've got to really clean our house. But, make no mistake, this has been going on for a long time. Both sides of that aisle are culpable.
Yep.
They really are. And if you don't think that's the truth, then you are really fooling yourself and you're part of the problem.
Yep. And lastly, in this one, we got Trump signing, telling federal employees told to remove pronouns from email signatures by the end of the day whenever he released this. And I look at things like this and some of the other things he's doing, and I'm like, okay, look, we've got bigger fish to fry than this. But he thinks he's got a mandate to do these things. So, it's like that transgender thing with the friggin' helicopter pilot. I'm like, look, if this guy who wants to be a girl can fly a helicopter better than anybody else, that's what I want flying the helicopter. That shouldn't make a difference. Okay. But we got bigger fish to fry than that, if you ask me. But,
yep.
That's just me.
Yep. I totally agree with you there. But he's, like you say, he's got a mandate.
He got a mandate. He got the popular vote, and he got
Sure.
He got Congress. He got friggin' House of Representatives. He got the whole bag.
He's got a base that he's got to appease, put him in there. So that's part of it.
And that's part of it. Yeah. So, the quicker this stuff's over with. And the one thing I do like about the Department of Government Efficiency, he said that's only going to be running for the first 90 days. They're going to run an audit of this thing and chop for about the first 90 days is basically what he said.
Yeah,
now, if it sticks around past that, depending on how they do things, it might be good, might be bad. I don't know.
Well, it's going to take a while to audit all that stuff. And I mean, I look at your own household.
Oh, yeah.
You audit yourself. You don't live outside your means.
No.
You don't raise your debt limit. I mean, you just don't do that.
Yeah, I know.
The idea that these people are doing that with our money, our taxpayer dollars, that's just criminal.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
All right, boys and girls. The boss has spoken. He said it's time to get the pads on. Look your chin strap. Get that cup in place. Because it's time to turn out the lights.
RB.
I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there. I have the utmost respect for Kurt Warner for going in there
and getting slaughtered.
Getting defaced.
Just getting destroyed. I have the utmost
Why do I show that twice, folks? Because it's worth watching twice. That's why.
Utmost respect for Kurt Warner going in there and committing suicide. Getting destroyed.
Yeah, dude, Goff learned that. Did you see when he tried to run down the dude?
Pretty sure that was targeting, crown of the helmet, the whole 9 yards.
Whole 9 yards, but you know what? When it's the quarterback going after his own interception, they never throw a flag, dude. They never throw a fucking flag. Oh, the last time I saw
paying your penance, man. You threw that bad pass, dude, so you get slaughtered.
Get out of the way. Don't
you
get
saw
involved.
Brady doing that. Brady, get him.
The best one was
Live to fight another day.
Dalton. Was Dalton playing for you Saints? Is that who he was playing for?
Diving in.
Pick? And he just walked away.
I was like,
and you see the guy diving into the end zone afterwards.
Fuck.
That's the way you should do it, quarterback. Dalton's got it figured out. Anyway, my final word tonight, guys, my final word is about this story right here. I couldn't help but share this with you. The headline reads, 29-year-old dies after leaving the chiropractor to treat her cracked neck.
This is a sad story.
It's a sad story, but this is I'm going to point out misleading headlines, okay? It says that she died after leaving the chiropractor that treated her neck, right? What they don't tell you, and what you have to read the article to find out, is she had gone to an emergency room and decided to go to an alternate medical professional. In other words, she decided to not listen to what the hospital was telling her, not get the treatment there for what was going on, but to go to a chiropractor. She made that decision herself. And whenever the chiropractor adjusted her neck, she had what was called a, let's see, I said what it was earlier, right, Dan?
Yeah, basically an artery got splayed open.
Yeah, it was an arterial dissection that happened. Now, if you know what that is, that's the same thing that killed Mr. Three's Company.
Freddy Krueger?
No, Three's Company, man. That guy.
Mike Myers.
No, Dan. Thanks for the
John
help.
Ritter?
Appreciate it. That's it. There it is. My brother will he takes every opportunity to make me look like the
Incredible
dude
Hulk
walking the planet. Anyway, it's the same thing that killed John Ritter. You bleed out quickly.
Yeah.
And that's what happened to this chick. She decided to not do what the doctor said at the hospital and go see a chiropractor. And the chiropractor, unbeknownst did not know anything about what was going on, cracked her neck and killed her, basically.
Yeah, I mean, it's sad that she died, right? But
Right.
geez, I immediately think about the chiropractor that did not know that this was a problem,
Right.
an existing condition this lady had, and just going through his normal routine of whatever, and ends up killing this lady accidentally.
Yeah.
That's
You
terrible,
can't play
right?
you can't play with your health, man. If a doctor tells you need to take care of something or just follow their instructions. I mean, it's not that difficult, really. I mean, I just separated my shoulder at the beginning of last month, and I did exactly what that doctor told me to do. They're the ones that can fix it, man.
They're the ones who are
I'm
supposed
not
to
going to
have
go to a
knowledge.
chiropractor to get it, and watch him rip my friggin' rotator cuff off.
Why go to the doctor if you're not going to follow the direction?
It makes no sense.
I don't get that.
Yeah, it doesn't make.
Thanks for the advice, but fuck you.
But if you, I'm going to go see this faith healer to get me fixed up.
Crazy,
What the
man.
hell, man?
Idiocracy, bro.
Okay, well, boys and girls, it is time for that award that gets given out by my brother on the weekly, and it's called the Simple Jack Award. It's that award we give out to a person, a community, an organization, could be an entire country, could be the entire world one day. Who knows? He might give the whole planet the Simple Jack Award for trying to do the right thing, but just can't quite get it done. And this week, boys and girls, it's Mark Cuban.
So bizarre.
His next move after mind-boggling Luka Doncic dunk kick or whatever his name is. He's a killer basketball player.
He's a great basketball player.
He traded one of the best players in the NBA for somebody who's not one of the best players.
I believe the Mavericks were in the Western Conference Finals last year with this guy leading the way.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he trades him to a rival and gets back Anthony Davis. Okay, so Anthony Davis was a great ball player. He's no Luka, though. Luka put fannies in the seats, sold jerseys in DFW. You can't say anything about this guy. I mean, the guy is amazing, right? You watch him play, and the logic of Dallas is this. They weren't going to pay this guy $345 million to not play defense. That's why they traded him. That's what they said. Nobody in the NBA today plays defense.
No.
So that whole thought process is stupid. I don't understand what the idea was by trading this guy other than you just want to torpedo your franchise. When they won the NBA title, they had a team that I thought was going to win a couple, two,
multiple,
three.
Right? Yeah.
And what did he do in the offseason? Torpedoed it.
Yeah.
He's I believe he's in the conference finals last year. And what does he do? He torpedoes the damn team. And I sent this article to my son. My son is a huge Dallas Mavericks fan.
Yes. Bo is a huge.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
He's done with sports totally. Mark Cuban went full retard on an NBA scale. And that's all I have to say about that.
Never go full retard. Never go full retard. Never go full retard.
And
I've never seen a trade like that. I saw that this morning. I'm like, I don't even know what the thought process is there.
And I'm sure my nephew, your son, Dan Jr., is thinking this about Mark Cuban right now.
I'm telling you. How do you sell that to the fan base?
Yeah, that's bizarre, man. All these 17 jerseys. Did he cut people going to games by making this move? He might have. I mean, yeah. This is beyond the Jerry Jones move right here, dude.
Here's the thing, though. They show the games, right? And you're going to see empty seats, right? But the thing is, I mean, the tickets are already sold.
Yeah.
So just because you see empty seats doesn't mean tickets haven't been sold.
No.
Season tickets been sold. I mean, this is a rabid fan base. The Dallas Fort Worth Mavericks, Cowboys, Rangers, and they will go out to see these teams no matter what the ownership groups do.
That's
they're
fact.
going. But I saw this and I'm like, this guy made the fan base forget about Dirk Nowitzki. Totally.
Which is unreal.
Unreal.
The guy that got him a championship.
Yeah. This is the guy. Luka. I mean, he's face of the NBA. I mean, right? There's a couple of them, and Luka's one of them.
Yeah, he is. And he's no longer a Dallas Maverick. I heard that today, and I was like, what
LA,
in the hell is
he's
this
a
guy
Laker
thinking?
now. Oh, jeez.
Yikes.
So bad, dude.
All right, boys and
Oh,
girls.
retard.
That's it for this week's Look at the Clown Show. You know we'll be back, not next week, but we'll be back again on the 16th of February. Next week, we're off for the Super Bowl, but we will be back to let you know what's going on with the Clown Show that is 2025 through today's headlines. The Brothers Hack the Matrix going forward every Sunday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Central Time, come check us out on Pop Culture Minefields channel, where I join Gary, Anima, and Martin Acosta Centena as we check out the Burt Lancaster classic, The Train, on Military Monday. Come check that out at 10 a.m. Central Time on Pop Culture Minefields channel. And then I just finished watching this. I hadn't seen it in years, and we're going to be talking about it tomorrow night. You might want to tune in for this, Dan, because I know you like this movie. Capricorn 1. All you guys that think we didn't go to the moon, here's the movie that proves it.
That's
Capricorn
me.
1.
That's me.
It's all about the Mars mission that was faked and all that good stuff. It's a really good movie. It's a thriller. It's got some of the best of the era. It came out the same year as Superman. Or no, actually Star Wars. It came out the same year as Star Wars.
Hardware
and,
Wars.
Fantastic movie. We're going to be talking about it on That 70s Rock Fans channel tomorrow at 4 p.m. Central Time. So come check that out on That 70s Rock Fans channel. And then, of course, Tuesday, I start my streaming week with Papa Joe Gamer After Dark, video games, cocktails, and fails. And this week, it's going to be Star Trek Online. So join me at 10 p.m. Central Time Tuesday as I get into some video games, cocktails, and fails. And then Wednesday, it's our pop culture show, State of the Atmosphere. We start at 5:30 p.m. Central Time. We give you a pop culture update. The Sweeney Spot, letting you know what's going on with Sydney Sweeney. And then we talk about what the main subject is. I believe the main subject this week is going to be the February movie releases. So come check that out. 5:30 p.m. Central Time on my channel. And then, of course, Friday, it's Sketching the Privateer. At 1 p.m. Central Time, the story of America's pirate patriot comes alive on my iPad as I continue to ink the first issue of the Privateer. You guys come check that out at 1 p.m. Central Time on Friday. And then at 8 p.m. Central Time on Friday night, go back to Pop Culture Minefields channel for our good friend Das Wolfen, who's in the chat today, as he plays Fallout, Tale of Two Wastelands on Game Night with John. Check that out on Pop Culture Minefields channel at 8 p.m. Central Time. And then, of course, this Sunday, coming up a week from today at 10 a.m. Central Time, it'll be the season finale of NFL Pregame Party. We're going to talk all about the Super Bowl matchup, and we'll probably have a stream later on that night after the game, but this is the final pregame party of the year next Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time as we talk about the Super Bowl, the hirings in the NFL, and all that good stuff. So you guys come check it out next Sunday at 10 a.m. Central Time, and then we will be back with our show on the Clown Show of 2025 on the 16th. So for myself and my brother Hylunder, it was so good to see you and talk to you today, man.
Absolutely.
The hiatus was too long. We are back at it, folks. Yeah, we're going to be off next week, but we'll be here every week after that. So you guys come check us out. Let's check out the chat one more time before we go. Looks like everybody has said their piece. So for myself and Hylunder, there can be only one. I want to thank you guys for being here. And until we see you again, I want you guys to keep on keeping on. God bless.